What if everything Hollywood told you about this dinosaur was a lie? What if the T-Rex wasn't a slow, lumbering beast with poor eyesight? The T-Rex you think you know is an illusion. The real one was a cunning, monstrous predator, a nightmare you never saw coming. Forget the movies. This is the real story. To understand the king, we have to travel back in time. Not to some fictional island, but to the dense, swampy forests of what is now Western North America. It's the late Cretaceous period, about 68 million years ago. This wasn't a peaceful world. The ground was ruled by a caste of extraordinary titans, the massive, duck-billed Edmontosaurus, the three-horned walking fortress, Triceratops, and the heavily armored Ankylosaurus, a living tank with a wrecking ball for a tail. And in this world of giants, one creature stood above all others. A creature so powerful, so perfectly evolved, that it earned the name Tyrannosaurus Rex, the tyrant lizard king. But for decades, its true nature has been a subject of fierce debate among paleontologists. Was it an apex predator, a ruthless hunter at the top of the food chain? Or was it merely a giant, opportunistic scavenger, using its immense size to bully other creatures away from their kills? To answer that, we have to look at the evidence. And the evidence begins with its most famous weapon, its skull. The T-Rex had a head that was 1.5 feet wide, with the most powerful jaws to ever walk the earth. Scientists have estimated its bite force at a staggering 35,000 to 57,000 newtons, enough to pulverize bone. To put that in perspective, that's more than twice the bite force of a saltwater crocodile, the most powerful biter alive today. But here's the key: its teeth weren't like knives. They were like thick, serrated bananas, designed not just to slice meat, but to crush and splinter bone. This bone-crushing ability would have been perfect for getting every last calorie out of carcass, a trait common in scavengers. So case closed? Not so fast. Recent fossil discoveries have shown T-Rex bite marks on the bones of other dinosaurs, including healed wounds on a Triceratops skull and a Hadrosaur's tail. These healed wounds are the smoking gun. They prove the T-Rex wasn't just biting dead animals. It was attacking and injuring live prey that managed to escape. This single fact tells us that the T-Rex was, without a doubt, a hunter. But here's the twist. The debate isn't about whether it was a hunter or a scavenger. It's about the fact that it was both. Just like modern lions or wolves, the T-Rex was a smart, opportunistic eater. If it found a fresh carcass, it wouldn't waste an ounce of energy hunting. It would use its massive size and crushing bite to eat its fill. So while it was certainly a terrifying hunter, it was also a cunning scavenger, always looking for the easiest meal. The T-Rex wasn't the only apex predator. T-Rex as the undisputed king of its territory. But there's a lesser-known cousin that might have challenged its reign. Enter the Nanotyrannus. For a long time, scientists debated whether Nanotyrannus was a separate, smaller species of Tyrannosaur or simply a juvenile T-Rex. New research suggests it was, in fact, a young T-Rex. But here's what's fascinating. A young T-Rex would have been smaller, faster, and more agile than its parents, with a different hunting style. It likely hunted smaller, faster prey, like oviraptors or even juvenile hadrosaurs. As it grew, its body would change, its jaws would become wider and more powerful, and its hunting strategy would shift to target larger, slower prey, like Triceratops. So the T-Rex was not one predator, it was two, changing its form and behavior as it matured. And that brings us to the most incredible myths about the T-Rex, the ones about its senses. In the movies, the T-Rex is often portrayed as having poor vision, able to only detect movement. It's a great plot device, but it's scientifically wrong. In fact, the T-Rex's eyes were positioned at the front of its head, giving it a massive 55-degree field of binocular vision. That's a huge advantage for a predator. Its visual acuity was estimated to be up to 13 times sharper than a human's. To put that in perspective, a T-Rex could spot a target from 3.7 miles or 6 kilometers away. It would see you long before you even knew it was there. And its eyesight wasn't even its most powerful sense. The T-Rex had massive olfactory bulbs, the part of the brain that controls smell. Scientists believe its sense of smell was the most developed of any dinosaur, allowing it to sniff out a carcass from a great distance, like a modern-day vulture. So, if it couldn't see you, it could certainly smell you. But what if the T-Rex wasn't just a master of the land? For decades, we've imagined the T-Rex as a purely terrestrial predator, a behemoth that couldn't possibly handle water. But the fossil record tells a completely different story. It turns out the king could swim. The idea of a Tyrannosaurus rex swimming may seem surprising, but this is backed up by some remarkable science. The T-Rex was part of a group of dinosaurs called the theropods, known for their large, muscular, bird-like hind limbs. While these legs were built for walking and running, they could also be highly effective in the water. A powerful kicking motion would have allowed theropods, including the T-Rex, to cross large bodies of water with ease. We even have direct evidence of this in the fossil record. Paleontologists have discovered score-like marks known as swim traces. These marks were created when the claws of two-legged dinosaurs scraped against the sediment on the bottom of lakes, rivers, and even the seabed as they swam. It's a powerful piece of evidence, a direct sign that the king of the land often ventured into the water. And the evidence doesn't stop there. Using CT scanners, scientists have found that many theropod bones had a hollow structure. This hollow structure would have helped their massive bodies float, making them excellent swimmers. We believe the T-Rex would have used this behavior to expand its feeding opportunities, venturing into new territories to find food. If you have any doubt that such a large animal would take to the water, just look at some of the T-Rex's modern-day relatives, giant flightless birds like ostriches and emus. These animals are incredibly good swimmers and are even known to make sea crossings of several miles to find new food sources on offshore islands. The T-Rex, a massive predator with similar legs, would have been no different. But venturing into these waters wasn't without risk, even for the king. The oceans were patrolled by another fearsome predator, the Mosasaurus. A young T-Rex in particular would have been a valuable meal for these formidable aquatic hunters. While they were strong swimmers, the T-Rex could only have been a brief visitor to the prehistoric oceans. Although their name means Tyrant Lizard King, they could never have ruled the waves. And finally, let's address the biggest question of all. Could a T-Rex run? In the movies, they can keep pace with a speeding jeep. But in reality, its massive weight and heavy, dense bones made it more of a power walker than a sprinter. Recent biomechanical studies have shown that if a T-Rex tried to run over 12 miles per hour or 20 kilometers per hour, its legs would simply shatter. Its body just wasn't built for high-speed sprints. But don't get comfortable. While it wasn't a sprinter, it was incredibly agile and had a powerful, deliberate gait. Its massive legs were a marvel of endurance, allowing it to walk for long distances at a steady pace. It was built for the chase, not the sprint. It would simply follow its prey, tiring it out until it was ready to strike. It's a different kind of terrifying. It's a relentless, unstoppable force. So there you have it. The T-Rex was far more complex and terrifying than we ever gave it credit for. It was a perfect blend of hunter and scavenger, a creature with senses sharper than a hawk and a bite that could crush bone. It was the undisputed king of its time, and a fascinating example of how little we know about our planet's past. We hope you enjoyed this look into the real Tyrannosaurus Rex. If you want to keep exploring the truth behind your favorite prehistoric creatures, hit that subscribe button and become part of the DinoT family. What's the one fact about the T-Rex that shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And don't miss our next video, where we dive into the incredible secrets of the Velociraptor